Hi you guys, it's Hailey, so welcome back to my channel. So this video is going to be a little different than some of the other stuff on my channel, but it's another list type video. These aren't going to be numbered or in any particular order, but this is going to be a list of things that annoy me or just my pet peeves. Hopefully some of you guys can relate to some of the things on this list. I actually found this, 'cause I don't know, it was like on Facebook or something, and there was like a list of like common pet peeves that people have, and I was like, oh, some of those apply to me. Like I totally relate. So that kind of inspired this video because I was like, let's like put some of my own on here. Let's do my own spin on this. So, let's not procrastinate anymore and let's get started. The first one is when babies cry in theaters. I understand that like having a child is really hard, and like I can't imagine like what I would do if I was a mom and my baby started crying. Like I can understand it being frustrating. But when you have a child and they start crying in a theater, please take them out. Please do not let them just destroy a whole movie because they won't stop crying. It's the worst thing to ever happen, like when you're in a theater and a baby starts crying. So just, that's like the first one. But these aren't, like I said, these aren't in any order, but that was like the first one that came to mind. The next one is when I go to Ulta specifically for my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, which is my go-to, and they do not have my shade, which is the lightest shade, and for some reason, every single time I go, they never have it. It's such a terrible feeling, like leaving empty-handed when you go for something. I'm not gonna fool you guys. I'm reading these off of a list that I wrote down. That way I don't forget any, because I wrote these down when I was making the list, because otherwise I have a bad memory. I'm gonna forget them. This one's kind of weird. Might be kind of silly to you guys, but a lot of these are supposed to be kind of silly and lighthearted, so hopefully like no one gets offended by any of these. Like I'm sorry if any of these pertain to any of you guys, but I don't think that they should. But like I said, these are meant to be taken kind of like funny and silly and lighthearted. So, but the next one is kind of silly. If you like Kat Von D's cosmetics or her brand, you are probably aware of her liquid lipsticks like these. Well, she has one called Nosferatu that is like my favorite red lipstick ever. And if you don't know what Nosferatu is, it's a movie, an old vampire movie. It's like one of the classic monsters. And the lipstick is called that, but she changed the name of it recently. It's still Nosferatu, but the spelling is not like the movie. It's spelt like the pronunciation, and I don't know why. It makes me so upset because I loved the name of that lipstick. And I want to find like another original with the old like name on like the bottom, because like on the bottom it has the names, and it's just like so upsetting to me. The next one is when I go to Starbucks. If you guys know me, I'm quite the Starbucks fiend and fanatic. I genuinely think Starbucks is like the tastiest thing on earth. And one of my favorite drinks from Starbucks is the strawberries and cream frappuccino. I think a lot of people's is, but for some reason, whenever I get it, it like never tastes the same. It tastes different every single time I get it. And for some reason, it's always better when my boyfriend gets it than when I get it. Like him and I used to go get, like I would get double chocolatey chip just because my strawberries and cream wasn't that good. And he would still get it, and his tasted amazing. But then whenever I get it, it just doesn't taste as good. And I don't understand why. I understand it's a different barista like every time you go, but it doesn't happen with any other drink but that one. And it's so upsetting. So upsetting. This one doesn't only apply to me, but when stores have their ivory or porcelain, like their lightest shade of foundation, and it's like 5 shades too dark, like it's more like on the medium side. For years, this was an issue. I feel like finally, you know, the past couple years I've been shopping at like Sephora and stuff, and they have more of a wider range of shades, so I've been able to find my match better. But back then, I would find just the darkest of shades that were light, like L'Oreal. Like this is way too dark for me, and it is like you know, for a lot of people of color and darker skinned women and people, it'll have like their super dark shade that's really light as hell. So it's just such an annoyance. Like, please, drugstore makeup, get it figured out. Do something about it, because I can't deal. This one's a really good one. When girls used to make fun of you for being dark styled or just make fun of your style, now think that they're goth. Okay, honey, you know, just make fun of me for like years, but now that it's like trendy and cute, I don't know, whatever, you do you. But I keep saying because I'm like reading the list. People who go out of their way to make unnecessary comments on like what you're eating. I feel like this happens a lot, like at school or work and stuff. Like you'll be eating something like unhealthy and people will have to like go out of their way to like tell you how unhealthy it is. And I get it, like eating healthy is like good and stuff, but there's been times like I've been at school and like someone will be like, yeah, that's like so unhealthy for you. And it's kind of like, I didn't really ask you. Like there's no need to, I can't speak. There's no need to go out of your way to make someone feel bad about what they're eating. Like just don't eat it. I don't know. People who sing in stores or anywhere for that matter. And I don't know, maybe I'm just a little bitter because my music never comes on. Who knows, maybe I'd act a damn fool. If Motionless Away or Escape the Fate or even AFI came on in a store, maybe I would blast out into song. But it annoys me so bad when people like, whatever, maybe you're like, you know, kind of just into the music, or maybe like singing it a little, but people who just sit and like parade around like singing in stores, it makes me super uncomfortable. I feel like that's why it's a pet peeve. It makes me really uncomfortable and I don't know how to act because I just kind of act like I don't hear them. Super awkward. People who come into my home and do not say hi or give attention to my dogs. Like, don't pet them or anything. Like, come on. She or he, my little babies over here, my little babies want to be loved. And you're just going to come into my house and not say hi to them? You're breaking his heart. I'm just kidding, but still. I like when people pay attention to my babies. And here we have Sweeney making another cameo in a video. Is there a lipstick going to? Nope. Let's see, what's the next one? When I'm talking to my boyfriend about something kind of important and he's just completely ignoring me and looking at memes on his phone. This might seem like it's not a common issue, and I feel like it probably isn't, but for me and Adrian, I feel like this happens like once a week. Huh, Sween. What's the next one? People who aren't courteous. So this applies in a lot of different ways. Like, I know that there's a ton that I'm probably not even going to list. But I mean things just like opening the door for someone and they feel so entitled they just barge in without saying thank you or anything. That really bothers me. And also when you make eye contact with someone and you like smile at them and they just glare at you. It's like, really? Come on. I'm trying to be nice and just smile. You don't have to glare at me. Maybe you don't have to smile back, but like, come on. Like, that's just rude. When iced coffee is 90% ice and 10% coffee. I get it. It's called iced coffee for a reason, but that doesn't mean I don't want any drink and I just want ice. This was such an issue for so long for me that I finally started asking for light ice. And you guys, if you have this problem, this is such a good tip because I've been the happiest person ever lately. Like, I'm like a changed woman because now when I go to Jack in the Box for my iced mochas and I ask for light ice, it's not gone in 2 sips because I have so much more coffee. Did you hear that? My dog just like coughed up a hairball. Sweeney, I didn't know you were a cat. But yeah, so just a little tip for you guys if you have the same issue. When someone calls you and when you answer the phone, they're like talking to someone else for like a long ass time. Adrian. What? Did I say Adrian? This happens a lot to me. This might be like, I feel like people might not be able to relate to this one, but Adrian always calls me, and even my dad will call me, and the minute I answer, they're like talking to someone else, and they won't even say hi, and it makes me so mad. Like, I get so irritated. Stepping on wet things. This could be pee from your pets. I mean, every now and then my dogs have an accident. My dogs are very, they're very trained. They're completely house trained. You know, they go outside, they hardly ever make a mess, but there is times they'll have the occasional accident, you know, they can't hold it. And I step in it with socks on. And it's so gross, I feel disgusting. There's times I've stepped in water with socks on too. And I'm just like, oh no, what did I just step in? It's a perfectly good, I can't speak. It's a perfectly good way to ruin a day. Just stepping in something with your sock. Stepping on my dog because he's following me around the house and is just in the way. This happens to me like once a day and I feel terrible. But little Sweeney is attached to my hip and he follows me everywhere and he'll always just get in the way and I'll step on him and I feel like an awful person. So it's a really big pet peeve at this point. My last one is balls leaving motionless in white. I'm just kidding. Balls, honey, you do you. You live your life and do what makes you happy. I'm just not gonna pretend that I'm not upset about it. That concludes everything in my pet peeves or things that annoy me list. Like I said, hopefully you guys can relate to some of them. And comment down below. I would love to hear things that annoy you and things that grind your gears. I believe I mentioned everything. Let me check over. I did. But like I said, these are supposed to be lighthearted. They're not supposed to be anything like serious. I probably have a lot more pet peeves, but I can't really think of any. But yeah, so if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. It helps me out a lot. And that's it. So have a good rest of your day or night wherever you are. I love you so much, and I will see you on the next one. Bye!